Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to read the Prof and Proponent, and I hope you learned something in this video. If you're going to watch this video until the end, you will pass the NET exam. Claim it and pray it. First is Lev Vygotsky, 1896-1934, stressed the fundamental role of social interaction in the development of cognition. Believed that the language develops from social interaction and plays an important role in cognitive development. Important principal zone of proximental development. Next is Jean Piaget, 1896-1980, pioneered in studying child development, developed theory of cognitive development. Basic components of Piaget's cognitive theories, schemas, equilibrium, assimilation, accommodation, and stages of cognitive development. B.F. Skinner, 1904-1990, developed the principle of reinforcement operant conditioning, devised different ways of delivering reinforcement, best known for his Skinner box. John B. Watson, 1878-1958, presented his view that psychology is the science of observable behavior. Little Albert experiment: a child could be conditioned to fear a previously neutral stimulus, white rat. Introduce stimulus generalization. Erick Erikson, 1902-1994, developed theory of psychosocial development, believed that identity crisis was the important conflict that the most people face in the process of development. Philip Zimbardo, 1933, the Stanford prison experiment explored how situation can influence human behavior, dedicated to the research on psychology of heroism. Elizabeth Toftus, 1944, misinformation affects memory impairment happens due to exposure to misleading belongings, power, freedom, and fun. William James, 1842-1910, always referred as the father of American psychology, established one of the first experimental psychology labs in the United States. Carl Rogers, 1902-1987, one of the founders of humanistic approach in psychotherapy, developed person-centered therapy, important ideas, congruence, and incongruence. Aaron T. Beck, 1921, term automatic thoughts, discovered negative ideas about self, the world, and the future, best known for Beck depression inventory and Beck anxiety inventory. Probably 1907-1990, best known for attachment theory. Infants have an innate needs to form an attachment bond with the caregiver. The earliest bond formed by the children with their caregivers have the great in effect to continues throughout life. Stanley Milgram, 1933-1984, the Milgram obedience experiment. Ordinary people are likely to follow orders from authorities. People have two states of behavior in social situations, the autonomous state and the agentic state. Alfred Adler, 1870-1937, founder of individual psychology, emphasized the individual over society, emphasized on the influence of one's birth order on personal strength, weakness, and lifestyle. Albert Ellis, 1913-2007, developed rational emotive behavioral therapy, which is earliest form of cognitive behavioral therapy. Played important role in cognitive revolution, which is took place in the field of psychotherapy, best known for his ABC model. Next is Karen Horney, 1885-1952, widely regarded as a founder of feminine psychiatry, studied how gender power imbalance affected development of psychological theories, viewed neurosis as a type of coping mechanism. Viktor Frankl, 1905-1997, founder of logotherapy, key figure in existential therapy, primary drive in life is search for meaning. Carl Jung, 1875-1961, proposed the unconscious consists of two layers, personal unconscious and collective unconscious, termed archetypes assign image and thoughts which have universal meaning across culture. Similar to the concept of ID, he proposed shadow source for creative and destructive energy. Ivan Pavlov, 1849-1936, developed Pavlovian conditioning, classical conditioning, and demonstrated how conditioned stimulus produce conditioned response. His contribution brings huge impact on educational psychology, teaching learning. Sigmund Freud, 1856-1939, founder of psychoanalysis, developed theory of psychosexual development and of Oedipus complex, compared the mind to an iceberg with the three levels, conscious, preconscious, and unconscious, discovered transference.